hey.
You gotta think about it. Think about it.
Game Girl. Game Boy.
Superstar DJs. Here we go!
Hey guys and girls, this is take 2. I got about 20 minutes in and looked down and my microphone light wasn't on. So I started again and then it's take 3. Then the door went. Amazon, that's post for me. Maybe I can't grumble. And I thought, oh, do you know what? As opposed to trying to remember I got to and rewatching it, I thought, F it, I'm going to have to start again. So take 3. See what's going to happen. It's going to be something will happen. There's always three things go wrong, don't they? Merry Crimbo, one and all. Well, Crimbo's just passed as I'm filming this one. It is Saturday today. So weekend after Crimbo. Cheers. It's the drink of the break. Been getting through the Bacardis and Coke, bit of rum. Spoiled with some uncouth, uncivilized cola. But yeah, these are soothing the seasonal pain, particularly post Crimbo. I hope everyone always having a good break, whatever you're up to. Had a good Christmas. To be non-politically correct, whether they're you're meant to say or not say. I hope people that celebrate Christmas enjoy Christmas, and to everyone else, I hope you had a good break on the bank holidays. Certainly bank holes in the UK, and gearing up for New Year's, which is approaching. We had a chilled one with our family. We normally do, see the in-laws up north. So Crimbo Day, or Crimbo Eve even, we got up at a good time because I was petrified by the news, the scaremongery about how Christmas Eve was going to be the worst day of them all on the roads. I was like, oh geez, so we kind of got up and sweating a bit, feeling the stress. And I said to the missus, "Carl, we need to hit the road." And yeah, Laura sods, it was like the best bloody journey we've had up north in years, and we did it in no time at all. We got there about midday. Beers were kind of embedded in my hand by the father-in-law. Cheers to him. Had an absolute awesome time. He's retired now, but he was a chef. Or is a chef. I guess it never comes out of the system. It's in his DNA. So he was cooking up a storm, and it's not. It's my kind of perfect food. It's like gastro, like pubby stuff. He can cook all sorts. He really, Oriental type stuff, but then proper English grub, which is probably my fave. You can do the fancy stuff, and then the maybe the not so fancy, the traditional things, which again is more my choosing. So we got there, and done a bit of a buffet, loads of pastry bits and kind of sausage rolls and sarnies, loads of kind of buffet kind of picky food. I had a trilogy of sauces, a bit of barbecue, a bit of a funky ketchup on the go. What was the other one? Like a sweet chili, homemade. All of these sauces, and so that was proper nice dipping fodder. So that was cool, and then the beers faded into the Bacardi and Cokes, or the rum and Cokes. I kind of stuck with them ever since. They're fairly chilled, like we always do, really. Chilled Christmas Eve. Watched a bit of telly, had a few beers, had a bit of a catch up with the family. Just me, the missus, the boy, and the in-laws, and didn't start to. There's no partying, nothing too crazy. Back in the day, we used to always, me and my mates, hit the pub, hit the Grand in Leigh-on-Sea, Christmas Eve, and just, oh man, it's just like Christmas days were quite often a write-off, where I'd get in and then I'd be like, bloody hell, I need to wrap my presents. Then I woke up hungover as hell, and it was tough, real tough Crimbo, but brilliant Christmas Eves, but tough Christmas days. I didn't know my lesson for like years and years, but one only lives once, right? But these days, how things have changed. So I've got up, Crimbo Day, fairly chilled, laid on a nice breakfast. father-in-law. So yeah, crunch through that. Pop the telly on. Watched a bit of YouTube. Got them into a few cool YouTube channels, which was nice. Caught up on all things Star Wars with the mother-in-law, and it's clearly not a generational thing because she has a equally sour view on most of the modern Star Wars crap as I do. So which is quite nice and comforting. But that's it. I've started to watch the Skeleton Crew one. It's about 3 or 4 in now, 4 episodes maybe, with Jude Law, which is quite cool. A lot of everyone's making like Goonies analogies because it's got kids in, and some of the horror and some of the setup. Say the horror, some of the jumpy bits. The horror is thrillery type bits, a bit kind of Goonie-esque. There's nothing too harmful in there. It's pretty comedic. But that's quite cool. So I said, look, she needs to get onto that. But she is she just kind of bulges through. What's the phrase? She just kind of crams through stuff. She won't do like the week on week. She waits for it all. Binge watches, Christ. So she'll wait for the whole season of something to come out, and then she's like, bang, she's on it. So we spoke a bit about that. Had our Christmas dinner early afternoon, trilogy of meats, which was quite pleasant. With the turkey. What else did we have? Turkey, beef, and duck. Every vegetable that you'd probably use in the Western world and beyond. I was properly full up, and big plates came out, which has to happen at Crimbo. Big plates. So that was nice, and then again the beers, the Bacardi, and then some wine, nice bit of red wine. So and then back to the telly, which is a bit of Doctor Who. I'd love to be able to get into Doctor Who, but I just can't. Like new Doctor Who, I should say. I just can't do it, and it was just like. It was okay, but we were all kind of scratching our heads with the plots. Maybe we were just thickos, but we just thinking, what the hell, what is going on with the storyline. So we watched a bit of that. Wallace and Gromit. Can't remember the name of the new one, but the new Wallace and Gromit. That was pretty smart. Didn't do the Gavin and Stacey stuff. Probably watch that at some point. I think it's when Mrs. before we went, she kind of recorded everything, so got lots to catch up on. And then we kind of again went to bed at a fairly respectable time. After the old had some evening desserts, which was pretty smart. And then got up early Boxing Day, and made the journey back. And geez, it was not a great journey. All the good of the journey on the way there was kind of just undone by accidents and loads of traffic, breakdowns. Idiots on the road, which wasn't much fun. And we got in, and I'm getting old, I'm even more antisocial I think, but got in the door and I was just like, deep breath, was like super chuffed just to be back. Kind of unpacked, did some stuff, whacked some stuff in the fridge because the father-in-law had piled bits in the car. I was like, again, so loads of buffet bits and foods which we've still got to work through. And then I sat down, started on my phone, but literally went through and just like how many YouTube videos. A good thing, I'm certainly not moaning about it, but like a ton of YouTube videos come out around Crimbo. So I've done the biggest watch list, which I'm not even halfway through. I'm only about 40% through. But loving it, absolutely loving it. That's pretty much what I've been on and off. Every time I've got a little moment to myself, it's like, okay, let's crunch through some more vids. There's some epics. Tootie's done a two-parter, so I did part 1 last night till about I think midnight. I was kind of watching that. Put it on. I didn't realise it was such a long vid, and it always picks. I mean, it's granted he picks up some good stuff. It's always a giggle, particularly when he's got a drink in his hand or several tinnies. So that was good. But before I knew it, I was about 12:15, and I was just like, if I'd put part 2 on, I wouldn't have done it justice. So I've caught up on part 2 today, but he's got some bangers in there. He really has. He's got some great stuff. Go and sure you've all seen that one, but if you haven't, go and check out Tootie's vid. But lots of kind of year-end videos, pickups, Crimbo related videos, as well as the, I guess, people's more say routine kind of vids, you know, gameplays and not just other stuff, VRs, video responses, loads of stuff going around. So that's been cool. So I was sitting downstairs watching this stuff, and I don't know if anyone else that's doing putting out the videos, a bit like me. Every now and again, you're kind of thinking through stuff, or you just get this thought like, oh, I think I'm going to do a video. So yeah, combination of, I keep looking this way, like pickups, trades, gifts, all sorts, and having a wicked day yesterday, which I'll talk about. I'm going to talk about that first. Had an absolute brilliant day yesterday. So it was Friday. What's that? Was it Friday 27th of December? I've done put a bit of a post out. So this time last year, myself and Clint, Retro Rewind, we met up. He's got kind of family through his missus, through his other half, not far from me. So I met him for the first time last year, and then as Crimbo was approaching this year, we were exchanging messages saying, look, you know, you're going to be in town. Do you want to do the same? So that was pretty much secured. We were going to meet up, and then we thought, oh, you know, get some other people, chat with other people. You know, maybe some others might want to get involved. So just popped a little post out, pretty informal thing to say, look, if you're around, you're a loose end. It can be a bit of a weird time of year. I know I like to stay a bit occupied after Crimbo. Kind of it's all like this, all the build up, and then it's gone. So yeah, a few people kind of commented and said, yeah, might make it, or yeah, see you there, and life can get in the way. So you're always like, yeah, I really hope they turn up. If they don't, it's kind of is what it is. People are busy, and this is like close to Crimbo. Traffic near me gets worse by the bloody minutes, by the second. So even though it wasn't too far, Clint, so he got to mine, probably took a bit longer than anticipating, just due to like massive traffic. And then we went on to a Retro Hunter, and we walked in pretty much bang on when we said we were going to meet everyone. And yeah, it was just like, whoa, quite, more faces than I expected. I'm going to be a complete knob and probably forget people, so apologies, but I'll remember to, if I forget, I'll at least try to link people on the video. So I walked in, Rogie, so Retro Hulk, Rogie Retro Gamer, was there, met him a few times, absolute dude. So it was, yeah, wicked to see him. A face that someone had commented, but a face I was so chuffed to see because I haven't met him before. Haven't really seen him at an event. Turns out it's not too far on the other side of the Thames, the River Thames from where I am, Kent way. Not More Games with Nick Berry. So Nick had made it, and such a nice guy. Gifted a few bits, and he gifted a few bits to everyone, I think. Such a generous fella. So we'll come on some of his bits in a second. Retro Chef. So Lee was there again. Met Lee 2-3 times now. Such a nice guy. We were dishing out the hugs, so it was great to see him. Really was. So cheers, mate, for heading on over. I think his other half was doing some shopping and bits in the region. Hopefully not south in High Street, because it's not much down there. Hopefully in some nice place. So yeah, awesome to see him. We had another Nicky, and comics and retro. So I'd met him earlier on, well, not that long, when there was a SOS Collective, Savin on Sea Toy Collective. They put on a toy fair. I'm sure I did a video about it, and Nicky was at that one, so I met him. We kind of been watching each other's videos for a little while, and he was there with his mate, whose bloody name I can't remember. Hasn't got a YouTube channel, but really nice. Yeah, Ryan, Christ, got Wrestler Ryan in my head. Maybe he's got like an Instagram thing, but yeah, a little chat with him. Everyone, even though not many people have met each other, maybe the common denominator of just retro stuff and just being decent people. I mean, everyone was chatting. There was no kind of everyone was just at ease. As soon as we strolled in, it was just brilliant. It's frigging brilliant. Everyone was crop rotating around, chatting. I think everyone spoke with everyone. It was so nice to see. So yeah, who else? Who else was there? Who the hell have I forgotten? Crumbs. If I have forgotten anyone, apologies. Hopefully that's everyone. If any other names come to me, I'll holler. But we were there for a bit, grabbed a few bits from Ali's, so from Retro Hunter, and then we tootled along to Miso, so Miso Retro Games. We're about 15 minutes up the road. Again, cheers Clint for doing all the bloody driving, doing all the hard work. We went in there. Again, I think everyone that was at Ali's made my memory. The person I forgot, hope it's the only one person I forgot. It's Whizbit Gaming, Tony. Apologies, Tony. I've kind of visually kind of working around the store in my head, but my crap memory failed me. So awesome to meet Tony. They've all got great channels, so check them all out. Please do. But Whizbit Gaming, Tony does a lot of shop tour stuff, a lot of CEX bits. He's done some great videos. The London Gaming Market, where I met him at one of the London Gaming Markets. He's got an awesome collection. He certainly loves to play games. Loads of like pickups vids. It's right up my street, and I'm sure he'll right up your streets too. So yeah, really cool to see him. So we all made it over to Miso's, had a look around there. Quite a few people hadn't been to Miso's before, or they had been to the previous shop. It used to be like on the first floor, a little bit out of the way, but now it's like you come into this mini shopping village. It's pretty much bang in. You can't miss the place. It's right, literally from the outside. You can head on in. So that was cool. Grabbed some bits. A few of the guys and girls, or the guys, went on to grab a bite to eat, and we tootled back. Myself and Clint to see our respective misses. By that time, I think we'd been out by about 4 hours. It felt like about half an hour, to be honest, but it just flew by. So we headed off. It was super cool to see everyone. I did grab some bits, like I said, I was gifted some stuff as well. So I'll kind of rearrange a few bits, and then we'll just get stuck in and we'll go through the pile. So give me a nanosecond. Right, I had a bit of a rejig. Microphone's still working, so we should be good. Right, and this is no real particular order. We'll delve in and out, but we'll start by talking about Steve. So Steve, 911 Gaming, absolute top guy. Normally around Crimbo time, I see him because he's not too far from the in-laws, but because we literally were there for 2 nights, really a day and a bit, I just couldn't escape, unfortunately, to go and see him. I did see him in the summer as well, and we had a bit more time. We did some arcading and had a bit of a chatter there. But yeah, we're always exchanging. He's far better than me. I'm a bit crap on social media, but Discord, we've got a little Uno one-on-one message thing on the go. And so we're always having a bit of bants, and the build up to Christmas, he's like, look, do you want to just do a bit of a gift thing? And in our heads we were roughly how many games. You don't want to get too fucking anal, like prices and values. So we got little boundaries were set. We've known each other a while, and so we agreed on something. So I pinged him a few bits, and he pinged me some stuff. There's a couple of things here really, because the first one, which really are gifts, and then we did a trade as well. So the gifts bit, find out where the trade are. So in terms of the gifts, came in a little DS holder thing. We have got, it's all lovely Game Boy goodness. Got a note as well, but I think I moved the note to one side. We have got some GBA games, so KO, the Kangaroo. He's really blooming decent. We everything here. I'll reverse that round. Nothing here, but is already in my in my collection. I've got obviously a hell of a lot of Game Boy games and GBA games, so he keeps note of what I've got and what's showing vids, and equally he's got some cracking taste. So we've got the KO one. We have got All Star Baseball 2000. So I think Scott would like that, old Scotty Marathon Gaming, because it's a bit of the old Game Boy Color. We've then got some further sports games. We've got some Japanese Game Boy games. So that is Konami. I call it basketball baskets, which I think it's meant to be a. I think it's meant to be a good one. In my mind, I've got it. It's a bit of a port, similar to the. Maybe I'm thinking of the next one, the soccer game. No, scrap that. Scrap that. So that's Konami. Yeah, I need to try these. I haven't had time to play them. This one, I was thinking J-League Soccer, Fighting Soccer. I think that's a Famicom game, obviously like a Game Boy version of it. I think that's meant to be a good little sucker, good little footy game for the Game Boy. So get stuck into that. Steve's, yeah, he's got, particularly when it comes to imports and Japanese versions of games, he knows his shit. So assuming these are going to be creme de la creme. This one is absolute creme de la creme, and criminally so. I haven't played this, or I haven't played the its predecessor. So Breath of Fire 2. I haven't played these ones. GBA, but originally they came out had been on the SNES, but passed me by on the SNES. I was just into more action, platforming, fighting, Mario Karting type games when I had the SNES, so I wouldn't have picked up like a Breath of Fire. So that's really, really cool. It's getting increasing in value. Those games are. I think anything kind of RPG related, I think always carries a little bit, doesn't it? So yeah, chuffed with that. So I've got loads of games to play. So we did a trade. I little upgrade on something. I got something in a box basically, which meant I had a loose cart which I could then move on. I'll leave that for. It's on its wing in its way, Steve. It's on its way. His postie is more efficient than mine. So I've pinged him a couple of bits for one system, and then he's pinged me some stuff back for another system. But I knew exactly what they were, and I'm pretty excited about them. To be honest, we've got like Jackie Chan, Kung Fu Master, so PC Engine, which I believe it's just a bit of an upgraded, quite an upgraded version graphically on the NES version. When we were kind of discussing trades and stuff, I did go onto YouTube and was just looking at some gameplay, but it does look pretty neat. The soundtrack sounded pretty awesome as well, and some from memory, some big ass bosses. Could finish that sentence, which looked pretty cool. So looking forward to that one. Make a bit of space. This one I haven't played. Looks very much, even some of the characters as well, like Konami's version of Street Fighter, but martial champion. If you look at the top, you've almost got like a Vega type character with the claws, and then like a Sagat character up there, bit of a spitting image. And CD. So the other one was a Hue card. This is a CD game with some screenshots at the back, which you don't always see, but it does look a bit like Street Fighter. So we'll check that out. Always fun. I don't often pick up like PC Engine games, but Jackie Chan I've had on my list. So that is cool. So really pleased with those. Big thanks, Dee. Your stuff's on its way. So hopefully, you like what's inbound. What other bits have we got? Let's talk about another channel. Fantastic channel. I've been following, I think from this year really. I think it's been going a bit longer. I came across earlier this year. The channel's called Dan's Out and About. Really lovely guy. Often him and his other half, they travel literally around the world. In the last couple of months, they've been all over the shop with like Tokyo, So some Japanese, been to some Japanese places, Hong Kong. But if you go back through their YouTube history, they have been like everywhere. And even when they say they're at Tokyo Disney, they're looking around and they're kind of making comparisons of certain rides or certain bits to say like Orlando Disney, and it's they are well travelled. It's a UK based, so lots of stuff like since they're already around like London way. Might be completely wrong. But yeah, a lot of vids kind of like London or theme parks within the UK. And to say theme parks, it's broader than that. They find like arcades, places, a lot of gaming place in London, which I didn't know existed. And so it's nice to have the insight into these places, particularly they're local and kind of accessible to me because I'm not a million miles away from London. But like everything, it's more I don't know, it's the person. He just seems like such a lovely guy, and I think what I'm about to show you is testament. He is a bloody lovely guy, but just the way they do the tours and they're going through stuff, it's really kind of relatable, really watchable stuff. Again, deserves like a lot of channels, deserves a lot more subscribers, a lot more views. It's far more kind of polished and a far cooler guy than I'll ever be. And so yeah, head on over again, unless I'm a dick with I have a poor memory and I forget to link. I will link below. But yeah, so they ping me some. He's like, "Have you got your address? I've got some stuff from the travels." And there's really nice bit of care package. We've got a key ring with a little biscuit that I haven't taken a bite of. I'll let you let's be clear about that. A toy biscuit. We were talking about Street Fighter before. A little kind of Chun-Li. The stand, I think it's like a little mirror as well, which is super cool. They stayed at Disneyland Tokyo in the hotel. It was like I think it's an Alice in Wonderland room. It was crazy, like just the decor and how I've been to like Euro Disney, whatever the hell it's called, Disneyland Paris, but never stayed in the hotel. We just did like a bit of a one-dayer, but just as he was kind of touring around with his camera. It looked awesome. So yeah, the toothbrush kit with Daisy and Donald. Topsy, I do know a little bit about Disney, and again from the hotel, a little amenity kit, which is cool. And yeah, I'll go straight into it. Famicom Mini. So basically, it was an NES. Most folk probably know about them, but just like some NES games. On GBA carts, obviously released for the Game Boy Advance. I've got a few of these, but Bomberman is one I didn't have. So he's grabbed this one, and yeah, all nicely sealed. It's like perfect. I think my other ones are down there, but it's one I needed. They are right down there. So yeah, a bit of Metroid. Yeah, a few others. So Mario 2. So yeah, so cool. So cheers, Dan. I will be pinging you something back to reciprocate your kindness. But it's like really the community is an awesome blooming place. I'm not expecting anyone to send bloody anything, but when people do, like I say, it's a human nature and decency to kind of reciprocate. It's supposed to be being a prick. So I'm gonna working on something to ping back. Let's have a little swig. So that was cool. What other stuff have we got? So from yesterday, when we were kind of touring around, so Retro Hunter. So we start with this one, Ali's. So Disney theme again. So Star Wars, Goofy. So that's more for the boy. I quite like this one. A bit of a mashup. I think Star Tours was obviously one of the early Disney rides. So the first Star Wars ride, one pre. Disney buying Star Wars and pissing on it, but this is super cool. Ali, there was 3 of them there. I felt a bit bad splitting the collection, but there was like a Minnie, a Mickey, and I think another one, and obviously this Goofy one. But I don't want to go rabbit holing, and it's just like say Goofy. That's one of my son's favourite characters. I'm into the old Star Wars stuff. That's a nice mix. But Ali said he got these from back in the day when he went to Disney and went on the Star Tours thing himself. So that's pretty cool. Nothing to write home about, I don't think, in terms of gameplay, but you had a couple of decent couple of decent Game Boy games. So one Game Boy Color and then a normal Game Boy, so sort of standard Game Boy. So F1 pole position, it just looks like a bit of a Top Gear behind car racing title, so that's decent. And then work our way through Game Boy Color. Got some asteroids. So it's probably, yeah, it's probably fairly decent. So quite pleased with that. Then we went on to Miso. And what did I grab from Miso? So I picked up three Atari Lynx games. All boxed, all complete. So we've got the Viking Child, which I'm sure my mate had this on his Amiga. Sure, this is on a few different systems. I haven't got it. I think it's a Game Boy version as well. But yeah, it's hard to determine what the heck it's all about. It seems really reminiscent of an Amiga game that my mate had. Might be talking BS. This one I thought I had. It's still faded, but that was reflected in the in the price. But I guess the Tetris for the Atari Lynx clacks, or the say for Atari, it's out in a ton of flavors, a ton of varieties. A bit of matching tile game. Turbo Sub, which again I thought I had. Fortunately, I've got my app. Otherwise, I'd end up buying stuff that I've already got. This one, bit weird, bit of a first person. It probably plays like absolute cack, but a bit of a first person submarine shooter. I think aliens have taken over the world, but are supposed to fight them in space. Oh, it's fight them in the oceans in your Turbo Sub. A bit bizarre. Sure, it's an arcade game. Like most of the Atari Lynx games are. Sure, it's an Atari arcade game that's probably been quite, to be non politically correct thing to say, a bit dumbed down, a bit diluted, so it can work on the old Atari Lynx. So that was those three. I'm jumping back and forth a little bit. At Ali's, when we were there, we were talking about 80s, 90s stuff, the usual stuff about a lot of films, the films that we love from back in those times just aren't on the streaming pattern. You kind of scroll through, you can't find anything. And Ali had kind of been curating some stuff that he loved, 80s, 90s, like DVDs, which some of them are harder to get than others. But when he'd been buying bundles, inevitably it ended up with a few doubles. So Clint and I went out back, and he's like, "Look, do you want to help yourself to?" I don't want to be a greedy bugger, but there was one I quite fancied. It's a proper cheesy film, isn't it? And not the best of film, but cheesy, and I think probably hasn't dated that well. And I think if you didn't see it back in the day and you watch it, you'd be like, "What the hell is this all about?" But yeah, I quite liked it. Maybe it's a bit, choice language from old Wesley, from old Snipes. And curious to see. I was hoping I'd get a bit of time to watch it last night, but I didn't. So tonight or tomorrow I'll be watching a bit of Demolition Man. Looking all over the shop, just trying to find a bit of space. We're walking out of Miso with Nick. So this is myself and Clint, and Nick's like, "I've got some bits, da 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 da." So yeah, absolute do. We've got some bootlegs, a bit of Final Fight. But we've got like a medley of Final Fight crammed onto a cart for the old Super Nintendo, and I know it's been a bit of a pricey one, but again on a bootleg. Is it War of the Gems? War of the Gems, Marvel Superheroes. Bit of kind of a beat 'em up platformer game. Again, I've looked at some gameplay. I haven't had a chance to. Need to get it working on the old analog, the Super NT. That'll work on that. But yeah, soundtrack again seems a bit weird at the moment. I'm getting quite into the tunes, and there's a good kind of, I don't think I appreciated it back in the day. When you're playing a game, there's a really decent soundtrack. Kind of, it stands out a bit more than it did back then. Previously it just would have been all about the gameplay. Who gives a shit about the music? But now it's something a bit different. Quick plug. Before I forget about it as well, I always miss a trick on get the old FOMO on the mini systems, and everyone was doing this probably like a couple of days after it came out. It's the old Spectrum thing. I was watching the videos. I thought, I'll try and get one. It was like really bloody so there was one place, I can't remember the website. I think it's called not Retro Games, but like the Retro something or rather. And took my order, but then the day after, the system clearly hadn't updated with the stock. It was like, we've run out. We're hoping to get some more in, but it was a bit vague. And I was looking at the other sites, and they weren't there. Dickheads are already starting to put stuff on eBay. So I was like, do you know what? I'm going to see if they kind of can get them, or if they're kind of BSing. I'm not going to cancel, because they were like, do you want your money back? Pretty decent customer service, to be fair. And it getting near Crimbo, I was like, part of me is just like, I'll be good to get, about £100 back in. And I was just, no, I'll leave it. And it took about a week and a half, but then they got another order in. They'll keep me updated, and then they pinged it. Out, and I was just like, it's decent. So I've got that. But then, it's bad, isn't it? Because Retro Repair Bear Claire, she's sorted my +3, so that's all fully functional. It's all kind of modded and super sexy. I've got the Spectrum next. It really doesn't. Maybe I'll leave it as a bit of a, sounds awful, but like a bit of a shelf piece for a while. There's no point me ripping it open and getting involved. But by all accounts, it's quite good. Even in terms of like the dimensions, the weight, obviously the aesthetics. Apart from the Spectrum, so ZX Spectrum. It's pretty identical to the original I had Crimbo back in the 80s. So cool little thing to get. What else have we got? We've got some super cool gifts from Clint. So more bloody gifts. So he picked me up, like I said yesterday. We're trying to get some stuff on the seat and his lovely camper van, which I'm so jealous of. And I genuinely, I thought, maybe they're Christmas, so he's picked them up for someone else, or he's like, no, they're for you. And I was just like, holy moly. Got back, did have a little game for him, but this is an uneven, not that it's a tray as a gift, and I'm very, very grateful, but it felt very uneven in terms of giftage, because when I got back and I opened them, I was just like, holy crap. And it's as much the thoughtfulness of what he has found. It's just like so nice. And I've got none of these items I've got. Dick Tracy. They're all Dick Tracy. No big spoilers here. All Dick Tracy related, and which is like this year particularly, it's been a thing I've just really getting into. I loved the film when it came out, but then over the years I've really just adore the film. Watch it several times a year, and this year and last I've been trying to gather up a few little things. Didn't have the VHS, so he got me the VHS, which is well cool. If you look inside as well, on the touchstone pictures, it's kind of iconic. The like Turner and Hooch, like absolute Tom Hanks, those classic films. What else have we got there? Three Men. Yeah, remember Three Men and a Baby, and then Three Men and a Little Lady. It's that sequel, Dead Poets Society, absolute classic. And it's even got a little questionnaire in there. The Touchstone Autumns of 1991 questionnaire. Yeah, that'd be brilliant. My only complaint, whoever's had it, they haven't rewound it. Just kidding. I've got a VHS to DVD converter in the loft somewhere, which I need to get down and maybe try and get that serviced or whatever. But super chuffed with that. But it doesn't stop there. I haven't got any of these, and been looking at them for quite some time. But yeah, some of the Dick Tracy cars. They're classic, aren't they? So yeah, Itchy's car. We have got one of the police cars. I mean, these are just like, what year was this? The 1990. This is like perfection. So cool. And then the ultimate, Dick Tracy's car. So yeah, damn, you can. I might have to go. This is rabbit hole. I'm see how many there are now. I'm just gonna have to be like, okay, let's do it. McDonald's must obviously been a movie tie-in. Maybe a Happy Meal, which I'm holding it the right way up. But like, yeah, badge, Dick Tracy badge. And now this, I've got a couple of these, but they're different ones, they're different stories, crap condition, and moreover, this is a double pack. So these are, in the UK we would have called them like the read-alongs, where you've got the cassettes and then you've got the story, turn the page, da 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 da. But like, there's a double, as you can see, but from the US of A. Doesn't say the shop. It does, Kmart. Yeah, pack of 2. How cool is that? And it's just like perfection. It's like, looks like it's like just come out of the carrier, the box. But yeah, pack of 2. Yeah, that's cool. I just need to work out the best way without damaging or, you know, perforating any of this. Just coming up with a sensible way to hang it on their wall, because it's a beauty. But all of these things are blooming beauties. So yeah, huge thanks, Clint. Yeah, blew my mind. And he got some stuff for Finn as well. Got loads of chocolates and bits. So Finn was grinning as much as I was when I was opening these bits. So really, really kind. So thank you, and cheers for carting us around yesterday. Really cool to catch up with you, mate. So yeah, wow. And then yesterday, so I've got good couple of friends. Guy I used to go to school with, used to live not far away from where I live 30 years ago, and then after uni he kind of did a bit of travelling. He's half Italian, half Iranian. Went to Italy for a bit and fell in love with Maria. Fantastic. Yeah, his Spanish wife, and then they moved back to I think her hometown. They went back to Spain. Seen them like a couple of times, but his mum's still living where she lived back in the day, so right around the corner. And every Crimbo, at least once a year I see them. This year I've seen them a few times, which has been amazing. But every Christmas at a minimum they'll come round, and we'll carve out a couple of hours where they'll come by and we'll exchange gifts. And yeah, mate, such cool stuff, and I'll do it in the order I open them. If you've been watching the channel a little while, or there's been any kind of film pickups, then inevitably I'll talk about a bit of Dario Argento, the Italian horror film maestro, director, Dario. So it's a documentary. I hadn't come across it, so the Panico documentary about Dario, with a whole horde of other film directors on there, and it's doubled up as well, a 2-disc edition, because it's got like a soundtrack CD. I haven't opened it yet, so assuming that's, I don't know if that must be assuming soundtrack from his films. They got like the Goblin, like the band that play the soundtracks to most of his films, with Claudio Simonetti in the middle. I met earlier this year at a horror film festival when went over in Spain. So yeah, again, I was hoping to watch this last night, but busy. But this is gonna, before I get back to work, this is gonna get watched. So yeah, cheers for that, Ollie, if you're watching. Did have a bit of a giggle. I was trying to think I was talking to about this one. It was one of the guys earlier on in the day yesterday. I think it was Clint. We were talking about Master System games of full setter. If you didn't know, but I was talking about, okay, what games are you after? And we were talking about stuff, and then we were talking about US Master System games that didn't come out in PAL. So like Secret Commando was like Rambo out there. Is it Buster Douglas? Fucking hell, my boxing game was a bit of a reskin. One that came, and then we spoke of there's another one, Alf, Alien Lifeform, and so we're speaking about that again. That didn't come out over in the UK, and then lo and behold, Ollie and Maria, they were like, "Oh, we picked you up, a couple of bits." So yeah, Alf. So like NECA. I remember watching this back in the day. I think it's probably an after school TV series used to go on. But the weird thing is, I did not know his alien name, which doesn't sound very alien to me in the slightest, Gordon Shunway, which is a bit peculiar. But that's really, of that era, which is cool. Clear my throat. Have a swig. There we go. And then the final thing. I think these were like 60s or 70s, maybe 60s. Emmy Robert. I don't know if they maybe Spanish or French. I'm not tired. I'd have to blooming Google. But yeah, the Beatles. Some clearly unofficial, some bootleg. Bootleg John will be a fan of these. Beatles toys. Almost like the green plastic, the army men, soldiers, but in Beatles form. But yeah, very, very cool. And then nearly at the end, a couple of further bits. So this is from Retrosect. There's a place up north, somewhere. Never visited them, but they've got like a website. They're on like Instagram. Bought some stuff from them in the past. Funnily enough, some Tomy bits, and then got a box Walkman from them as well. But I didn't have these, but I remember them back in the day, perhaps in one of our like Argos magazines, but the Tomy games. So there's that one. I don't know how many they did. Knight's Mission, and so a bit of a knight, and there's like dragons, and then there's like copter combat. It's probably not going to show particularly well if I try and do them on here, but there are YouTube videos of these. But basically, for each, you've got like a winding mechanism. So you wind it up. You probably go on and on and on. You've got like a score which you reset. And then with this one, you've got basically some things moving in the background. It's all like mechanical. There's no batteries. It's purely wind up. And you start it. And then you kind of got to fire when that lines up with one of the enemy copters at the top, and then you get points. So there's that one. They're all slightly different, and they're loud. This one, you're like a knight, and you have to move across the bottom of the screen again, purely like mechanical. But the dragons come up and down, and you've got to kind of pick your moment. It's fairly it can't be random because it's completely random anyway, because it's obviously a tourney toy, but it does, when you feel it, you kind of got to check the pattern and get your timing right to get from one side to the other, and you get to one side and then your counter goes up. It's quite clever. I wouldn't want to open it because it's full of pieces, but quite clever in how it's done. No batteries required, so as long as it's looked after, it should work forever and a day. But like I said, there's far better, not loads, there's a couple of YouTubers that have already done some good videos of those, so well worth checking out. I think we're there. I think we're nearly there. There's two more bits. Not often I do this. Pick up a Neo Geo game. So now 1975, obviously for the MVS. I think it was Al's Arcade, so like Alex, Nintendo Arcade. I think it was him showing this, a bit of a kind of a gallery shooter. Obviously Vietnam, the army guy at the bottom. You've got enemies coming towards you. You have to get your crosshair, take them out. A bit operational Ops Wolf in some respects, in terms of you've got the machine gun, but then you've got some grenades that you can chuck. But you've got a different from Operation Wolf in terms of you've got you've got to protect your little man, so you can move him along along the screen. You take out hostages. Got a pretty lady hostage, and if you rescue her, she kind of jumps over and then she's with you, taking out the enemy as well. But it is a game clearly that just wanted to take your cash. We used to have quite a few Neo Geo arcades down the seafront back in the day. I played a few of the fighters, did a lot of Metal Slug, but I've never played this one. It probably was there somewhere, but I didn't play it. But it's one that's clearly after your cash, after your money, because it's hard as heck. Some of the bosses as well. Obviously, when you got it at home, you can just like credit. You got it in the right, I say that credit. You got it in the right way, because otherwise it takes the fun. There's got to be a little bit of challenge to it, but I don't know how far I'd get off one credit alone, because you hit certain bosses and they're on your case. But yeah, chuffed with that one, just off eBay, which was cool. This next one's probably the pickup of the bloody year. So maybe it is fate that it's ended up in the corner of the table, corner of the desk. I think I mentioned that when buying stuff from an eBay seller, which is now probably more of a mate, it's just, we kind of bought a few bits, and then we had a bit of banter, and then a bit of background about him selling on his collection and the reasons why, and then other kind of conversations transpired, and I bought quite a bit of stuff from him this year. And then there was a time I was like, okay, I really want this game you've got. I think it was the biggest game that you had on there. It's got one other big hitter left. To be fair to the guy, I was doing another pickups. When I bought it, he was just like, grab up to, was it 150 quid? He was just like, look, do this, da da da. It's a bit of an offer, and then on top of that, he's just like, if you want, and up to 150 quid, just let me know what you want. So I picked up another couple of games that way. I really am effing rambling. It's the biggest hitter I've got, and likely the biggest hitter I'll ever have, and it puts a bit of a smile on my face. I don't think any game's worth the price of this in terms of playability, but it is actually it's a really, really good game. So it's better than, I've spent a lot less, but still too much on, say, fucking Barbie games, which I'm never going to play. But to have this, which is actually a decent one. I did have a loose cart, so I'll be kind of moving that one on. But yeah, and this guy's like a proper collector. So everything is just like, we're not going to open it. I opened it when I got it, just to go through the stuff, open the cart, and I trust the guy, based on buying a lot of other stuff. But I've opened it once, and now I've kind of just popped it away. But yeah, obviously all complete. But like, stunning. I know they look, as they say, the old box protectors hide a multitude of sins. But even out of the box, it's a beauty, absolute beauty. Really cool game as well. Obviously based on Castlevania spin-off. You go through, simple platformer, but a nice little platformer. But you get to the end of the level, you beat the boss. They give you some skills, flying, vampire bat transformation. There's one you can walk on the walls. It kind of flips round. So I played it a lot, and it's a really good game. So yeah, a bit of a way to end the year. I don't think I'm genuinely going to be able to top that, like, ever, because even on my list of stuff, there's a few things on there. But I don't think any in that ballpark. And I'll be bullshitting if I say, I'm not going to get another. But if for whatever reason other Game Boy games became completely unattainable in 2025, I'd really be just happy with the collection, which is cool. So yeah, that's where we're at. And what I do need to do is a bit of a collection. That's been so like bitty picking these Game Boy games up. Some of them I've had for like literally 25-30 years, and I don't think I've ever really done a proper like collection video. I've done some early ones on YouTube where I laid stuff out, and but I think the collection's grown quite a bit, so I'll do some videos on that. And that's it. Trying to think what else to say. I did a year-end crossword. So there's a bit of time still. I think got until New Year's Day to get that done. If you go on like the community tabby thing, whatever it is on YouTube, you'll see it there. I've also put exactly the same. You'll see the same bloody crossword, same rules on Instagram. I think on Facebook, and then a few people have already responded. Got a few people with top scores. Not many, but there's a few people that got the top scores. So yeah, them and any other people that enter up until the deadline, which is, I'm sure it's the 1st of January. I'll probably chuck them in a little roulette thing, and then we'll see who wins. It's going to be cheesy, crappy merch. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Well, I'll say that we'll do the crappy merch, and then we'll get something nice in there as well, because it's it's all a bit of fun, right? That's definitely me done. Let's hope the sounds worked. Have a good one, whatever you're up to, and in advance, Happy New Year, depending when you watch this and whenever I upload it. But yeah, have a good one. Cheers for watching, not just this vid, but yeah, all the support this year has been pretty bloody amazing. So really, really grateful. Take care. Cheers.